Well, I suppose it's time we talk some wrestling. What do you think, Ty?
Yes, indubitably.
Indubitably.
Yeah.
Indubitably. What is going on, everybody? Rated Emma here. I'm so happy that you all joined us for this. Only one guest today. Yeah, it's well, we may have more. They said they're going to be late, but
It me.
yeah, but it is us. It is the best rivalry today in NAW, right here in front of your faces. We hate each other, but we're going to talk about wrestling. But first, before we can start the show, we got to do one thing. You know what that is?
What?
This.
You just made the list.
This apparently Nightfall sub. Thank you for the sub, but no, more importantly,
The following announcement has been paid
You
for
wanna
by...
know? You wanna know something really bad, Jared? I think my Instacart's here.
you said it would be. He said it would be. He timed his Instacart for the beginning of the podcast.
I'll be back.
So, who does that? Apparently, Ty does. You're not going to bring it with you? He said he was going to bring his phone with him for the Instacart. So, what is up? Rated Emma, Chris, Con Air, Garmer, Smoking. He said yes or no. Yes or no. I mean, join up. Spots are limited, though, because of last time. So, if you're going to do it now, sir, so we can get you on. But, yeah. We're going to be talking about Backlash. WWE Backlash aired this past Saturday night in Puerto Rico for its premium live event. I don't think anybody else asked Rated, so the only other guest we were expecting is Mr. iRob. Oh no, Con Air says we ruined it. He said, well, hello there, General Kenobi. Speaking of Con Air's Corner, Con Air, will you be continuing your stream on Wednesday for the Star Wars game? Or was it Jedi Survivor? I kept forgetting the name. Pay-per-view seems to have been critically acclaimed. They did really well for this premium live event. In all honesty, what's up, Queen? The numbers were up from last year. The matches were not all rematches from the WrestleMania pay-per-view or premium live event from a month ago. The show itself was a kind of a breath of fresh air if you continue to watch wrestling and premium live events. We got to see a variety of things that we likely would not have seen at a normal pay-per-view had it not been for the background of some of our talents. And we're going to get to that as we break down each match here and then, of course, rank them here off to the right side of the screen. All depends on how you feel, to be honest. Sitting in your chair for 2 or 3 hours. Oh, that's true. Kind of. I keep not forgetting, but not realizing that recovery is not easy for that kind of thing. Hence, never having gone through it. So I understand. So let me move this real quick. Brady, you joining us? Can you hear us?
Hear me?
So let me fix this. Can I hear you? I can hear you. I got doubles of me. Let me fix that. The plan is, yes, awesome, Con Air. Brady, we heard you for a second. Now we can't hear you.
I'm here. I was getting my camera.
Let me see if I can fix me. I don't want to have me. So can I do that? Yeah, we can do it that way.
All right. Can you see me?
I can. We can see you. So, all right. We're waiting on Ty. He's doing his Instacart order. Bad timing for that, but hey, what can you do?
No pun intended.
Never. Alright, let me fix this a little. What's up, Lana? Last minute join, had to do some adjustments, but that's alright. We've got it fixed. Kinda. All right, so let's talk about this, and then once Ty joins us, we can adjust the order. So the show was based out of Puerto Rico, so we saw a lot of
Perfect timing.
perfect timing. Is Ty back? There he is.
Yeah, I'm back.
Hey, okay. So let's talk about the first match. We're in Puerto Rico. We had a lot of talents that have basically they're from or have heritage or ethnic background in Puerto Rico. So I don't want to say they pander, but like they kind of made it a point to showcase their talents properly who are from the area or have heritage in the area. So like in my opinion, they did the right thing with that. They showcased talents they should have. So that in itself made me happy.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice to see all the returns as well. Sorry, I'm probably going to butcher these names because I forgot most. They had Savio Vega. Was that his name?
Savio Vega.
Yeah, Savio.
Yeah, Savio Vega. They had Carlito.
That's cool.
That was a nice one.
That's cool. He ate apple. And he looked great.
He did.
I didn't know. I didn't expect that. I almost thought it was like a debut. Like maybe someone from his family when his music hit, and then this young-looking guy comes out.
Right? I was not
That's not
expecting to be in
Carlito.
that great of shape.
Yeah, he was
in
looking
great
good.
shape.
Yeah, Carlito had a big pop. There were questions asked. He said he'd be willing to sign a contract anywhere full time, so it doesn't sound like he's been approached by WWE for a full time deal. That seems to have been a one off, which is unfortunate if it is only a one off. We saw him at the Rumble a few years back, the Pandemic Rumble, and he didn't get a crowd reaction, obviously, because there were no live crowds. So it's nice to see him get a pop for an actual return in front of a live audience and an appropriate audience, too.
But, speaking of pops, it's going to come back up later twice. And y'all may not like my opinions on these, but we're going to get to those.
Just a sidebar, we can't see Ty on the stream.
We can't?
Are you sharing your camera?
Covered.
I am.
Covered, don't remember.
Hold on. I can, see if I can unshare and then share.
No,
You're fine.
you're on the side now. I got to crop it because it keeps... Stupid Discord keeps moving you around.
There we are.
We're good now. We're good. Nothing little live editing. All right, you can keep going while I'm doing this. You don't have to stop talking.
But yeah, that was all I was gonna say is that the crowd reactions they were great.
The crowd was
for
amazing.
the night, you know.
They honestly, throughout all the matches, they kept the same energy consistently, and that's something that is huge.
I'm glad you brought that up because that, to me, was one of the most important things about that show. It was nice to see a crowd engaged with literally the entire show. A crowd grateful for a wrestling show for the first time in over a decade, in that place for them.
Um,
And it's like at Mania, there was a couple matches to where where the crowd was quiet. So that's why I say that. I think having the crowd was more engaging and more the energy was all there. It made the show better.
Definitely, yeah. You don't want the crowd sitting on their hands, especially at WrestleMania. That's embarrassing. You've hopefully worked for months to build up a storyline to have them dead on it. Obviously, we covered that pay-per-view or premium live event in our last podcast here.
Lana does bring up a good point. They were positively engaged. Like the anti-Chicago.
Anti-Chicago or Jersey.
They were positively engaged instead of saying what to good promos and booing people out of the building for no good reason.
Exactly.
Well, just because they're not from Chicago. Uh,
And even Brock, who is like the biggest heel, oh, he got a good crowd
he got a
reaction.
good ovation before the match and after the match. So
Exactly.
yeah, they liked Brock. They adopted Io Shirai as well. Well, Io Sky.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I believe the first match was Bianca versus
EO.
Io, wasn't it?
It was, yes. And I'm like choking on that statement. You guys got me all choked up. I'll recover. Don't worry. So yes, we open up the show with Bianca and Io Sky for the championship, and I was not expecting the reaction. Like we already talked about, so here's a little bit behind the scenes. Normally, DC covers the watch along of these, and there was kind of a general chatter in the NAW locker room about this card, and it just kind of not being great, right? That was kind of the immediate reaction. Like, this card looks meh. And yeah, on paper, I think it kind of looks like a Super SmackDown card. It's not great, but I think it delivered. And to get that reaction from Io on the Bianca Belair match, that was a pleasant surprise. And we're going to talk about that a lot. That's
It
kind of
was.
the theme, here that you guys said. It was a pleasant surprise.
It was. And I feel like in the match, Bianca kind of caught on to the fact that Io was so over, and she tried to kind of slow the pace down and cut out some of her momentum, like suddenly. I guess play heel for that match.
She was very much
And
perceived as one.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
but
a lot of people like EO, like EO a lot, and I be honest, I thought that when they did the draft, they would have when they took Bianca over to SmackDown. Honestly, was hoping that they would take EO over to Raw, so this way she could win. But then they put her over on to SmackDown as well, so it kind of ruined the whole chance of her getting that title run.
Yeah, and the draft starts, I believe it was tonight. Like, there wasn't an effect until
yeah,
tonight, which we're doing this on Monday, the Monday after the pay-per-view, for those wondering the timeline of this.
but sorry.
No, go ahead.
One thing people were saying, a lot of the general consensus is that people thought that because of this, like, surprisingly, overwhelmingly positive reaction for Io Sky, that she should have won the championship. Like,
Yeah. I saw that on social media, too.
I feel like
I seen that too.
it was great that, yeah, it was great that she got a pop. It really was. But I feel like the reaction from one group, like one crowd and one, location, should not alter the timeline of a champion's reign entirely. Like, they said they wanted to see Bianca drop it to Io and then have her win it back at some point, like I think it was the next night. But either way, no. It was a pop, and we should just accept it for what it was.
I agree.
As I said,
moment.
I wanted to see Io win so she could get that title run and put Damage Control into something, because I mean Damage Control has just gone downhill, and there's nothing big from them. They're taking all their momentum away, or they're gonna break up.
Here's the thing, too, about that. Is anyone truly going to care if they break up now? We haven't built them up enough to be really much of anything, unfortunately, when they should have been. And it's evident that they're lining something up for an Io and Bayley feud for this summer. And I just don't think that's going to be perceived as a big moment for them. Bigger than it should, or as big as it should be.
Yeah.
It probably won't. Mostly because I think Damage Control as a group was never made to look dominant or, you know, cohesive at all to begin with. So the gravity of them breaking up isn't as heavy. Like
Won't be as
it's not
significant.
as impactful. Like, when Bailey and Sasha were dominating during the Golden Role Models era and during the COVID WWE in the Performance Center. When they broke up, I mean, I knew it was gonna happen eventually, but when they broke up, it was very impactful because they had been on top. They had 4 titles to their
I
names,
need them to see your naked ass.
and they were best friends.
Sorry.
What the hell,
It
Rady?
mattered,
Rady, you okay?
but I don't think this is gonna
Sorry.
matter
My daughter
whatsoever.
needed the head thing, shower cap put on. She comes bolting over here, so I had to kind of push her away. Sorry. I thought I muted myself, but I didn't.
No, you did
Bro
not.
launching his kids across.
What is happening right now?
Anyways,
Don't try to cut us off. He's launching his kids across the room, man.
no,
That's
not really. I
crazy.
just kind of like had to. You know how you do the whole with short people? You put your hand on their head, hold
Right.
them back. That's
Break
kinda
her
what
neck. Right. Okay.
What the?
happened. Anyways, but yeah, no.
Garmer in here trying to make matches happen. He said Garmer versus shit.
Armor verse.
I don't think you could fight shit,
Drama
Garmer.
versus who?
I don't know. Apparently, shit. I don't know.
Can you
Damn.
make a shit character?
I could make a poop call.
There you
I
go.
could
Make
definitely
the
do it.
poop. Make the poop call and
That
name
would-
him Mr. Hanky.
Yeah, poop call could be the new jobber. Fuck Andy the arm wrench Anderson. We're gonna have shit.
Can't wait for that.
Yes, I'm so ready to
So,
face shit.
so the predictability of this match, I didn't think a title change would happen. Obviously, they pushed for the longest reigning current or modern era women's champion. Bianca has got that now. They shared that on social media today.
And I think she deserves it.
Yeah, well deserved. I'm not dismissing that by any means. So I didn't think a title change would happen. Obviously, I figured Damage Control would get involved in some way. It was poorly executed. They didn't really get involved well. Like I don't.
Then you had Dakota Kai get on the apron and get kicked in the face by Io Sky
Right, like
when Bailey had her.
it's just
Bailey.
awkward.
Like, come on now.
I've seen people compare
And she
Bianca's
sold it
current-
like.
You just get quiet there, rated.
No, I thought I was gonna say
Oh,
something.
yeah.
About that.
Awkward silence.
we both like paused for each other. But I was just gonna say I've seen people compare Bianca's current run to Super Cena, and honestly, I kind of get it because Bianca being able to handle 3 people on her own is just a crazy subject to me.
It's a lot. That's why I
Like,
said the interference was poorly done.
Yeah, and she's done it twice.
Mhm.
Remember when it was Bailey versus Bianca in that ladder match, and
Yep.
then Damage Control came out and she fought off all 3 of them again?
Yeah, it was. It's a
You
bit
can
much.
only bury Damage Control, but so much.
Oh, they're going to
I-
continue
I
to do it.
honestly- Like I said, I think that they took all their momentum away when they took the tag titles away just to give them to Lita and Becky, just to have Trish be the one that turns everything. It's like you took away all momentum for them.
Yeah, that was a bad move, bad moment. But
Oh,
so by
Overall-
default, this takes top
has to
spot,
be number one.
right? So it wasn't a bad
Honestly,
match.
I think it should be last.
The we'll see. Overall, it wasn't a bad match. I think it was fun. Again, the crowd energy had me going the entire show. So that'll be that continued narrative here. Any last thoughts on this one? Chat's talking about it here real quick.
Well, yeah, I see Garmer says that Bianca Belair is possibly the longest reigning black champion, period, man or woman, which is great
That's
for her,
awesome.
but she's just lucky that Brock Lesnar can't fight women.
Right.
Damn it.
We all know how that would end.
Kofi Mania. Oh.
Kofi Mania,
man.
Big E's title reign.
What was that? Like, he lost in 15 seconds?
It was Brock. It was, yup.
That was bad.
After all of that storytelling and momentum, they said,
Yeesh.
welcome back to Bootios and Pancakes, bestie.
Damn, they did him wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had your moment. Time to shake your ass again.
God damn. All right. Let's move on to the second one. By the way, 18 minutes was what they were given, Bianca and Io. So really good time. 18 minutes is a good time to tell their match. Second one was Seth freaking Rollins and Omos.
Ooh, this was a good one.
10 minutes and 30 seconds. And you say it was a good one. You know, if you would have told me that.
Listen.
No. If you would have told me that before the pay-per-view, I would have laughed at you.
Like,
yeah,
now that it's
me too.
been seen,
And that's why
I thought it was a joke too.
That's why I'm really giving up for this match. Because 1 second, I'm receiving a phone call.
All right, so I gotta say, Omos is being built up here again and getting really good opportunities and good matches, but yet he keeps losing. So you're giving him these great matches and great dance partners, but you're feeding him losses. At what point do you stop believing in this character being a monster, an actual monster anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does he have left?
I will say this much: he's just become like the biggest jobber, essentially, for everybody. I mean, he's better than a lot of the other big wrestlers that they've had. Like, what was his name? God, I can't think of his name. Great Khali, I think it was.
Great Khali. Great Khali was limited though because of his physical, stature.
But I'm just saying, majority of the big guys like that, their physical stature limits them. Okay, they don't really go down to the ground that much. And he was out here. It looked weird seeing him pin Seth Rollins at one point.
Yeah, because he actually goes down for a cover instead of just putting his foot on him.
Exactly, like a typical big man would. So, I mean, I honestly, Omos has gotten a lot better since when he first debuted. But the one thing that is sucking is that all they're doing is giving him these jobber type roles, as you would say, to where he's putting people more over. Not really like over with the crowd, because I mean Seth Rollins is obviously over with the crowd. Everyone loves Seth.
But he's facing dominant champions.
That's the thing too.
He's facing
like great talents too.
Right.
And I honestly, if they want, it's either, I say now is probably the best time to either give him the push, make him a contender for a title or something, even if it's to be against, Austin Theory, or, I'd hate to say Gunther, but, even for those, I mean, he's not world heavyweight title yet, but he's in the picture to where he can be, the United States champion, and you need to give him some type of push now, or just take it away.
So Chad agrees with that sentiment. Omos beating Gunther. Maybe, I don't know. Is Omos the guy, though? Is he the right one? I mean,
all that they need to do is give him a win, finally. They need to give him a win that can push him in that right direction.
But who's he go against next, right?
That's the thing. You've already given him big names to beat.
Right, you start to go down that ladder of talents then, and then...
I mean, it was what, Lashley was first, then it was Lesnar at Mania, now Rollins.
Right. Omos and Shinsuke, that is a weird match.
That would be very weird.
I don't even know if I'd want to see that. Ty, what do you think? Shinsuke and Omos?
I
Wait,
don't
what?
even think
Hold
Cross.
on, let me reconnect my earbuds.
Nigeria versus
Y'all, I'm
Japan.
going through it. But
Karrion Cross and Omos? Omos and Sheamus?
You got to give him some type of big name that he can beat to put him down the road for one of those, second tier titles.
But
let's
do
be
you...
so honest right now. Do we really think Karrion Cross is a big name?
No.
No.
No. He got buried.
Karrion Cross is not a big name. Karrion Cross has been getting his ass whooped ever since he came back. And it's not looking like it's going to get any better from here.
Say says Omos and Dominic? These are such, like, weird matchups. These are, like... You do this in 2K.
Almost and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
All right, now I feel like y'all trying to be funny.
Right. I mean, I can see the Omos and Shinsuke, because Shinsuke is a character that is over. He's won championships. He's been King of the Ring.
So...
He got what by Vince McMahon, Farmer?
Things that make you go...
We should really we should work on that wording.
Rephrasing.
Garmer does have a point. Seth versus Omos had everybody scratching their heads, but Seth does what Seth does best and brings the best out of Omos.
And he
Like,
did.
he brung the best.
He made him look good in a loss.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Seth consistently brings the best out of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was maybe Omos's best match of his career, win or lose. And Seth got another win under his belt and more momentum to become the new world heavyweight champion. So everyone wins.
Yeah.
You really... That tournament begins tonight. You really think Rollins
I
is the
know.
guy?
Rollins better be the guy. This is not
Right.
the end of Cody Rhodes' story. Captain Cookout needs to win the Universal Championship.
Yeah,
You know,
I'll be
that's-
honest. I agree with you there. If they give that new belt to Cody Rhodes, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's
It'll
I don't
be
agree
like,
with that.
congrats, you didn't win, but here's a title.
Yeah.
You know, I hate seeing the participation trophy shit all over the internet because I actually like the new title. I like it.
It's
but
not
I feel
about
like
the title though. It's about
I know.
his story, his
The-
chase, the prestige of what he's trying to
Right.
go after. That's
Right. I feel like giving it to Cody Rhodes would make it a participation trophy.
It would.
I do believe that it would.
And honestly, once he wins that damn thing, story over. Then what?
Yeah. Story
There's no
over,
more
you did it.
chasing.
Still down, I'm ready now. You know, it's over.
Right, like, good job. Hey, now what? Nobody cares.
Son of Plumber, aka Mario's son, has just won the title. Congratulations. Go throw a party or something. I don't know.
Roman versus
From a
Omos.
cookout. That's what he's going to do to celebrate his win. He's going to have a cookout. Yep.
That's the only way to do it. It's the only way.
Yep. He's
So-
going to have a cookout and do some fireworks.
Do we rank Seth Rollins and Omos higher than Bianca?
Yes.
Yes, it was honestly
It was a better match?
it was a better match. Like, I'm not saying Omos was horrible, but as I said, Seth brings the best out of everybody, and he made Omos look really fucking good.
Yeah, best match of Omos' career. Just a picture of Bianca Belair in second place.
So Garmer
The
thinks that
ESPN.
Io and Bianca was better.
All right. I don't know what dope you were on, Mr. Garmer, but get off it, kid.
I mean, Where do you stand on it, Trav? Do you see it being better than that one, or?
I think they're pretty even in different elements, much like what we critiqued already on the involvement from damage control. That lost points with me. There was just some things that they could have done creatively that lost some points with me. Omos and Seth Rollins didn't overstay its welcome. It was 10 minutes. It was a fair amount for what they needed to tell in that story. The curb stomps, the big moves, the moments. Omos sweating like crazy. If you watch him, he was sweating.
It was a good match, Garmer. Just not better than a Seth Rollins match. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. Finisher spammed. I mean, when you gotta beat a man that's 7'4",
right?
What else can you do? Yeah, it's fine. I'll give it the edge out of this one because I know it's gonna get bumped down as we go throughout the card. So, Garmer, Io getting dropped on her face too. We didn't talk about that. That was pretty gnarly. So there were some almost botches, pretty bad botches.
You said what? Okay, Garmer just said he thinks Io versus Bianca at Backlash was equivalent to Rhea versus Charlotte at Mania.
Oh no!
I think now we need to just start banning people for awful takes.
Right?
No.
Oh man.
Because that take is
Troy says no, it was good, but not that good. I agree. Rhea and Charlotte almost stole Mania. That was
bro.
Go back and watch
that Io versus Bianca compared to Rhea versus Charlotte at Mania was straight up hot dog and handshake level. I don't know what you're talking about.
He said A-dub.
I expected better from you, Garmer.
All right. Our next match here, which honestly didn't really do much for me. I'm going to just come out the gate with that. Austin Theory retaining his United States Championship against Lashley and Bronson Reed. This had a few moments that were really good, but this match was super short, and I don't know why.
It was kind of short.
It was super short.
650.
I think it was kind of unremarkable in comparison to every other match and every other moment on the card. This is like dead last so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's not really much. There's not really much to talk about on this match. Nothing. It's something that it's what you expect it to happen, to where Lashley or Reed would take each other. One of them would take one out, and then Theory would just come in and just like throw him out the ring. It was a very predictable move.
Well, how many times are we going to see this outcome in matches where Lashley is involved in a multi-man getting screwed over?
And that's the thing. What was Bronson Reed involved for anyways? I mean, he has no reason to be there.
The kid is good. If you watch the history of Reed, he is good. He just hasn't gotten any sort of actual push, but this hopefully highlighted that.
Bronson was there to protect Austin Theory, and so Bronson was there to take the pin. That's why Bronson was there. That also helps extend Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory, which unfortunately will continue, I think.
Oh, it's got to continue. It'll be in Saudi Arabia for Night of Champions.
What's that? Just do.
I will say, I will give Bronson Reed a lot of credit for being a big man and doing, the moonsault off the top rope.
Yeah, like I said, if you want to see some of his work, watch him obviously in NXT. It's very brief there, but if you check out his New Japan stuff, when he left, he got released from WWE. The kid is good. Like, for a big dude, the kid is good.
Honestly, that really seems to be the tail of the tape. People leave WWE and they're fucking amazing. And then they come back and they're meh.
So I got to ask the question then. If that is a constant trend, is it that they are WWE quality tier and trained, that when they go to these other promotions, are they just that much better because they've been in WWE? Or is it the talent pool outside just not as, pun intended, elite?
You know
Say
what?
it's
I
a
feel like
movie.
it's all in the way you look at it, because you could take the route and say that they're that good because they've been in WWE, but you could also say that WWE really restricted their abilities and didn't let them showcase how good they really were.
That's why I
I
say
think
it's
that
a
that's the take.
mix.
I think that's the take that most people have when it comes to people leaving WWE for New Japan or joining New Japan. I mean, joining WWE from New Japan, I think.
Well, I think what Garmer says too, it's better training. I think also there's a lot to be said about a formula that works. Why change it? WWE has been a success in this sports entertainment industry for a long, long time. And even though people get mad at the product, they still come back for whatever reason. It's one of those things
Hmm.
we like to shit on it, but it's doing big things, big numbers. People are still buying tickets. It's selling out places. And
We like to shit on it, but we like to smell our shit.
right, so
It's like blowing. Hey, it's like blowing your nose and then looking right back into the napkin to see what you do out.
do you do that a lot, Rated?
No,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like he was exposing himself there.
I had a coworker that did that and it was just disgusting.
Ew. 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 Ew.
Anyway, yeah, this was dead last.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. Again, it had a couple
Hmm.
moments, but it felt like a match that we would have watched on Friday Night SmackDown as opposed to a
Yeah.
premium live event build to
It also
something.
felt
it
generic.
felt
Like
it,
two
it,
big men, small man. Any three combinations of people could have done that match.
Oh yeah, it's we've seen it before match, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's this worked before. Let's just get you on the card, and there you go. Go entertain, boys. Coming up
All right.
next, I'm excited for this one because I feel Ty, you have some things to say. We were talking about it before we went live. Rhea Ripley, Zelina Vega. Obviously, Zelina Vega has a history with this channel, DNA. She chatted us live during a stream, which was super cool. And yes, I'm gonna bring that up every time I can because that is such a
on your birthday.
cool
It was
moment.
cool,
It
man.
was a super cool moment.
Wasn't it
So
for your birthday too?
it was, yeah, 2022. Yeah, super cool moment. I'm glad we got clips of that, and that's part of our history.
So, before we get talking about the actual match itself, I will say two things. One was loved her outfit. It was amazing.
The
Zelina
flag
Vega's.
on her
Yes,
entrance.
that was pretty dope. Yes, that was dope.
It
And then the
was.
other thing too, is the whole height disadvantage there. Like Rhea Ripley was like,
Well,
two of
she's
her
I
basically.
think they're a foot in difference of their heights.
It just seemed like such a big height like difference and everything. So
It really did.
it just made it look funny in a sense, but it was. I actually liked the match. It was good.
I mean, it's like Alexa Bliss though, also trying to take on most of the women's division. Like they're very small in stature and short,
Yeah,
which gives them no advantages from just an appearance standpoint. That's when they really have to sell it with their in-ring work and character. Garmer says Vegas 5'1" and 5'9" for Ripley. I'm curious about how accurate that stuff is.
what? There is no way Rhea Ripley is only
Yeah.
5'9".
As I'm saying, that is more than an 8-inch difference. But
So, to start the match, as I said, Selena Vega's entrance, she got a great ovation, being that it's like hometown for her and everything. So I think that was amazing. Her entrance overall with the flag. At first, I didn't notice that she had like poles inside of the flag part to hold it up and everything.
oh, you think she's just straight arming that thing that whole time?
I thought she had. I thought there was something else there for some reason at first, and then I seen she was holding like poles and everything. And so, Rhea Ripley's attire was actually pretty good too. I liked it. I don't know if you guys caught it, but the back of it said "Dom Boy."
Yeah,
Dom.
Oh, Dom, yeah.
Dom.
Or
Yeah,
something.
I saw on social media too.
Yeah.
her
I thought it
significant
was
other. Said even though you're written on her ass, I get to touch it. I was
funny.
like,
I know, right?
yeah, okay, dude. Calm down.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
We get it.
Jealousy.
He's just
right.
mad he's not in
But
WWE
the
anymore.
match, I feel like the match overall was okay. So the match was kind of standard, I feel like. But because of the hype surrounding Zelina Vega in her home country, it was much more emotional and much more um, attention grabbing than it would have been had it been anywhere else.
Yes, I agree with
Um,
that.
it was a glorified squash match, in my opinion. There was
Was
definitely no way Zelina was winning. And I feel like nobody um, that was not in the arena thought Zelina had a chance if they were of sound mind.
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit more back and forth. I would have
Yeah,
liked to have even the typical make you believe, but then take
that
it
there was
all
a
away.
chance.
You know,
Yeah.
they didn't even
Like
have.
I do agree. It was a glorified squash.
I
About
would have
like
liked to see Rhea take a few finishers, something.
I mean, she did take a 6 1.
Really,
She did reverse the same move she reversed on SmackDown. So
yeah, it's
It just
like,
felt like a rematch of that, basically.
it was.
yeah, it was, a glorified squash match.
I will
Yeah.
But
say about the only best part of that match was the beginning when Zelina Vega went out and grabbed her mom's chancla and threw it at her.
yeah, the chocolate was funny.
That was like probably the best part.
I just loved, like, you could tell she was just taken back by emotion. I loved the
Yeah,
genuine feel of
Oh
it
yeah,
coming out there. She was
absolutely.
holding it all in. And then even after, like, her match was done and she was just taking that moment in. And it's stuff like that. It's like,
yeah,
I'm so happy that some of these talents get these moments because sometimes that's even better than winning the championship, you know?
yeah. And I think that was also the right decision that she didn't win the championship. Um,
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, she shouldn't have won it storyline purposes, regardless of where you're at. Like, if everybody wins in their
Exactly. Yeah.
hometowns, like, sure,
It
yeah,
makes
whatever.
sense.
But,
like I felt like people were high on that atmosphere, and they really thought that for some reason, despite Rhea Ripley's hard-earned journey toward the title, beating Charlotte, like hello,
yeah,
that in her first defense she would lose it to Zelina Vega for a pop that she will not get on any
anywhere else.
show that's not in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. It's unfortunate to say that, but that's the reality of it. Like, the
Yeah,
states, the cities, it's a tough crowd for a lot of them. We don't have
yeah.
that same
Uh,
energy, at least not in the positive way.
Yeah, I would almost say that it was a once in a lifetime pop. But who knows? They might go back to, Puerto Rico at some point.
They said they had
And I
no
believe we
plans
might
to
get,
anytime soon. It was like,
well, in that case, once in a long time then.
yo, I was like, well,
Once
that's
in a long time.
unfortunate. All right, I gotta ask, where do we place this match?
Uh,
Um,
I
the
I
ending of the
see.
match was the best part, like Garmer said. Um,
Armor said the end was the best part.
the end was the best part. Can we scroll up? Yeah, I want to see what we got. Okay. So, do we think that this match was better than Theory versus Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed? I think so.
I think
Just
I
from
do
so.
the
too.
ending ovation alone.
That
I think if you're
that's
talking on an
where
entertainment perspective,
yeah.
yeah,
I was gonna
there's
say it's
more.
third.
I'd say yeah, bumps them
It's
out.
Yeah.
definitely because I
And
mean
you know what? Now that I'm. Go ahead. I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say, even though we knew it was, a predictable win for Rhea, because obviously you can't take that away, especially from Judgment Day in a whole, you know. So honestly, it's like I don't know. I lost my train of thought there for a second.
Choo choo.
But I was saying like, okay, Ty, not that close.
That's it. Okay, Raid's
Okay.
done. All right, thanks, Raid.
Right.
I can't
Okay,
remember what I was gonna say.
Right.
All right.
I think it does go for Darren's spot.
Oh,
Mostly because. Oh, did you figure out what you were gonna say?
yeah, I did. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that the rematch was very predictable and everything, as opposed to where like this one was predictable. Rhea wasn't gonna lose. We obviously knew that, but just like the emotion involved from the crowd and Selena, and it was just overall more entertaining.
It was. But
But
I did notice that this was the only match where there was not at least one surprisingly loud ovation. Not this one. I mean, Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed. There was no like overwhelming reaction for any of those three.
well, if you look at any of the matches, they're probably the least interesting for this crowd.
Yeah, they did not care about that match as much as they did everything else.
Yeah.
But
Almost
even
every-
still, the crowd was still very active. Even still.
Yeah,
They were
for the least
active.
interested matches, yeah, they were still more interested than average crowds.
Especially at a Mania one too.
Right. All right.
Yeah, I think Graves said it best. They were just grateful to have a show.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you be if you hadn't seen a show in
Yeah,
15
hell
plus
yeah.
years? So,
It wasn't that dude that's always there in his green shirt there too.
green shirt guy was there, yeah.
Oh man, must be nice, especially to sit right there.
All right, match 5. Talk about reactions. I sat down and just kind of was silent during the intros for this one, and like Atticus became a super fan. He was asking me what's the name of Bad Bunny's entrance music, and he went and played it on Spotify afterwards, and he's been listening to that. He was like super hype on it. He became a Bad Bunny fan that night, which is what.
I really hated the outcome of this match
Why though?
because it's like you're basically saying that you could just take anybody. Like, granted, yes, I understand he's had a few matches, just like Logan Paul, but it's basically saying you could take anybody off of the street and put them over an actual wrestler. You know, it just
He
doesn't
went
make
against
sense.
Damian Priest though. He didn't go against John Cena.
Damian
Yeah,
Priest is
listen.
supposed to be the muscle of Judgment Day.
Right, but it was a
And
street
it was
fight.
It was a great match, right? And
It was a great
This,
match.
I
Don't get me
feel like-
wrong.
I don't feel like this took anything away from Damian Priest. If anything, this showed Damian Priest's worth even further because he was able to put on a great match, work as a heel in his home country, not let his emotions make him selfish and take away moments from Bad Bunny, and put him over all at once.
I mean,
I think Damian Priest is going to come out of this better than when he came in. And
he
so
deserves,
is Bad Bunny.
He deserves an Oscar, I can tell you that much.
Garmer says Damian Priest is good though. I agree. Garmer says Priest should have
Priest
won.
should have won.
I don't know.
He should have won.
Nah.
He should have had Priest win.
We had enough of the heel taking down the hometown hero earlier in the show with Rhea and Zelina. It was time for the hometown hero.
And
to
did you hear the ovation? That crowd. I have not seen. I have like more people. I know it wasn't a packed arena compared to what Mania was, right? 80,000 people. Like the 17,000 people in this arena was louder singing Bad Bunny than they were singing Cody Rhodes music. Everyone talks about the adrenaline.
Oh,
Even louder than the
here's the
Seth
thing, too.
Rollins chant.
That destroyed that too. Like,
the 17,000 that were here literally did sing Bad Bunny song a lot louder than what you were saying. The 80,000, even both nights.
that's what I'm saying. It destroys that. The ovation. So yeah, give Bad Bunny a win here. Does it hurt Priest? No. Does it give to that crowd? 100%. Reward that crowd.
I mean, yeah, that's
because
that it was. It was a reward system to the crowd for them squashing the, as Ty said, the hometown hero, with it being Selena Vega. So yeah, I get the sense on why they did it and everything, but like, do you realistically see Bad Bunny beating Damian Priest?
Yeah, I trained him on his finisher.
We'll go with that.
Good night.
Bye.
No. But did you realistically see Rey Mysterio beating Batista?
Ooh, got him.
Think so.
What about Alexa Bliss beating Nia Jax? Come on.
Yes, I see.
You can't realistically see that.
Realistically, I can.
But because it wasn't realistic, because the odds looked insurmountable, that made the win all the more better.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm trying to say, though, is, okay, you bring up Rey Mysterio and Batista, two professionally trained athletes in their respective sport, being wrestling.
Timeout.
Okay?
Timeout. If you didn't know Bad Bunny wasn't a professional, well, he is. He got in a ring with a professional. Like, he had to have some sort of training. But if you didn't know who the hell Bad Bunny was and you were just kind of looking at this not objectively like we are, I guess, would you be saying the same things? I'm thinking you're only saying these things because you know things. You know he's a pop star. You know he's an entrepreneur, an icon.
It's the same thing like with this. It's almost like the same thing with Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania.
Wait,
I mean,
what?
granted, yeah.
Wait.
No. There is. Let me explain this. There is a huge difference, as Bad Bunny, as you said, has had more training than Snoop Dogg, obviously. And they don't have to sit there and tell Bad Bunny what to do on the stage and everything. But it's like, I go back to my earlier statement. It's basically saying you could take anybody off of the streets and turn them into a wrestler and go up against big names.
You could.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, established wrestlers like Damian Priest, he's gone through the NXT, he's made his move up to WWE, everything like that. So it's like you're basically taking, like I said, someone off of the, not someone literally off of the street, because Bad Bunny obviously isn't off of the street. He's famously known. He's had a few matches. But I don't know. I just see that the outcome should have been Damian Priest winning.
So do you have this same sentiment when Logan Paul wrestles then?
Yes, I hate Logan Paul.
But it's not it's not a love or hate. Do you have that same sentiment? Should Logan Paul be losing all his matches then?
Yes.
Why?
Then what would be the point in bringing them in?
That's the whole thing. You don't need to bring them in.
Why?
You're bringing it all in for a publicity stunt.
Because this is sports entertainment.
Exactly.
This isn't a real competition. It'd be one thing if this was cage fighting and it was CM Punk trying to become a cage fighter. Like, that's a bad idea. And he proved it was a bad idea. Well, he did it, yeah, but it was a bad idea.
This does not harm. I could see if they had Bunny squash his ass, but they didn't. It was a mutual development for both parties.
And it was a street fight. He didn't out-technically wrestle him. He just beat the hell out of him.
Yeah, with weapons. He brung a cart of fucking weapons to help him. This was not like, Damian Priest lost a straight-up wrestling match.
Play the street fight out of it, and Priest should win.
Is your cat dying?
No. My mom has spoiled her.
Your cat's like, enough! Let Bad Bunny win!
He's pushing people's heads and cats, killing cats.
Like, what is going on at your place, man?
Anyway,
Just a normal
I
day,
feel
you know.
like this. I feel like this is the new number one match. I do.
That I
What?
will agree. That I will agree. Number one, it was way better than Seth.
Greg, what do you mean? The match was fun.
It was funny. I don't know.
I'm gonna give you this tie. It doesn't hurt Priest at all losing. I mean, I would have rather have seen him win. That's just my opinion. But
I would have
Priest
rather have
doesn't
seen
lose out.
one too, but
That's
in
just my
this, in
opinion.
the
In the sense of the story, I can see why they give Bad Bunny the win. But I will say, Damian Priest is a great actor and everything because, come on now, that little hyperextension move that Bad Bunny did, that's not really going to hurt your knee like that.
Hey, they're all actors.
they're all actors.
Wrestling's fake? What? When were you guys going to tell me this?
Spoiler.
Jesus.
Oh.
Now
Wrestling
you can leave it a
fake?
lie.
Garmer
It's
says
been a
Priest
lie
is a
this whole
future
time.
world champ.
I think so.
Maybe.
I think so too.
Maybe.
I can
Anyway,
see it.
He's
where
not
do we rank
young,
this
though.
one?
He's not young. So.
Leave him alone. Let him be old in peace.
Damn. Okay.
I see this at number one.
Yeah, I put in number one. You chat said so. You both said so. I was outnumbered. So, I would have placed it probably at 2 or 3, but that's all right. It's the majority rules. 25 minutes is what they gave him in that street fight, by the way.
It was a good one.
Yeah,
I love the
25
fact
minutes.
that they took it into the crowd too to make it feel more of the street fight.
Archie hitting us with the spoilers. Garmer says Priest is a future world champ, to be honest. Next message. Archie, Priest just lost tonight in the tournament.
I mean,
so
of
future
course we're gonna have
future
Finn
world
Balor
champ.
get further than Damian Priest in the tournament.
Yeah. Current world champion's 37. Priest is 40? Damn. Drew McIntyre's 40? These guys are not young. I'm hearing Drew McIntyre he's not happy with his contract negotiation and he's being urged to go to AEW. How perfect timing that they're going to Wembley. That Drew McIntyre wants to go there. I don't know if I like that.
Don't go to Mud Show.
I don't know if I like that.
I mean, it was nice to be there live, but don't go to Mud Show, Drew.
Oh, okay, yeah. If he lost his set, then yeah, I can see why.
Lesnar's 43. And that's the thing. These guys are not young. These guys are not young.
They still look great for their age.
Well, hell yeah, they do. Look way better than me.
All right, now, Raider, calm down.
Whew.
Hey.
Somebody get him a towel.
He said, "Oh, for
Need some
the
water.
age, oh."
Thirsty over here.
There's just like some fine wine. They just getting better. I'm going to drink them up. Anyways.
Right. Anyway,
6-man tag team match. In all honesty, I called this match down to who was taking the pin. I thought this was going to be the most predictable match on the card, and it honestly was. This match didn't do a lot for me. And I know a lot of people are hype on Solo. Yeah. What they said in the background. Yeah. I don't know. This match didn't do it for me. It was fine. But this was the rematch
Okay.
of Mania that we talked about that Backlash is notorious for.
listen.
I'm
Hear
listening.
me out on this,
Okay.
right? So, the storytelling of the match was good, I feel like. I know what the story was trying to portray here, the implosion of the bloodline and all that good jazz. But I feel like the match was too long.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they could have gotten the message across in half the time. You said they had how much time? 25 minutes?
They got 22 in this one.
22? 11 minutes, 12 minutes was good enough. We didn't need,
I had to say 15.
all
at
these
most.
false finishes and arguments in the middle of the ring over and over again. We knew what the
Yeah.
story was, and they took it. It just overstayed its welcome.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, I would rate that like better than Theory and Bronson and Bobby. Um,
I would place it above Rhea Ripley and Zelina. Just because I had decent moments and there was more story for advancement here.
Yeah, I
yeah,
would agree that for
yeah,
storytelling
that's
purposes, it
fair.
does go above the Rhea and Zelina. I honestly, I feel
Yeah,
like they could have done a
or
little more if it, but they, like Ty said, they should have cut it down in time. I think 15 minutes would have been good enough for that one.
yeah, I
And
think 15 would have been perfect.
So
and
the
go ahead.
the
Try.
thing I don't like about this storytelling is it's rehash storytelling from something we've already had within this very same story. And it is the story of that first year of Roman becoming champion and his trying to make believers out of the Usos, most notably Jay, as Jimmy was out for a little while. And when they had main event Jay become a thing, and when he was starting to trend as, oh, we're going to make Jay the champ. We're going to make Jay the guy that betrays the bloodline and then dethrones Roman. It's now turned into Jay from questioning Sammy to now questioning Solo, who Solo is getting ticked off of being, the bodyguard who it's just this same trickle down story. Instead of Roman and Ray, it's now, Roman and Jay, it's now Jay and Solo. And it's like, it's the same.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, granted, they sit there when they did the press conference at the end of Mania. Roman's talking about that. They're barely in like the third inning of this story, and it's all like, well, how much longer can you go on with this story?
Well, they want to go to 2024 at least, they said.
Yeah, that I get. I honestly I get it. But what I'm trying to say though is like, this would have been the perfect opportunity to start having it to where Solo. I honestly I wanted to see Solo Samoa Spike Jay.
But
I
why?
wanted to see him just like,
What are you going to do with him?
with who? Solo?
Okay, let's say hypothetically this is your angle that everybody wants so desperately to happen, right? Solo spikes him. The Usos are what?
The bloodline.
Usos are going to side with Roman still, or are they going to be their own thing and it's Solo and Roman then? Because what do you do?
That's how WWE is making it perceive, especially when they drafted it.
But why?
Instead of it being the whole bloodline, they sit there and make speculations, make you think of like, oh, are they splitting? Are they not splitting? It's like just I don't know. What do you mean Jay didn't super kick?
Okay.
Yeah, Jay did super kick
Here-
Jimmy because it was KO that moved out the way, then super kicked.
Here's my take on the whole bloodline thing. If they're gonna really continue this story for God knows how much more long, it's time for some new facets. It's time for some fresh energy when it comes to their storytelling. I'm tired of the old, we've disappointed the tribal chief, he mad at us now. I'm tired of the old, fall in line or get spiked or speared or Superman punched. I'm tired of that. We know that there's a hierarchy that must be adhered to. We've established that like 2 years ago now.
But that's why I asked, what do you do with Solo then? How would you book Solo?
I need to see something else. I need to see a new member, maybe something fresh, because this lasting for 2 more years, well, a year more, and it just being fall in line with tribal chief. We made tribal chief mad. I can't do it.
So how
It's not going to be it for me.
can you answer that though? How do you book Solo here? What
Solo,
are they
I
doing
feel
with him?
He's just being the enforcer, basically second in command under Roman, which, I mean, he's still not getting anything accomplished for himself. Like, Jimmy and Jay are constantly chasing the tag titles. Roman, of course, undisputed champion. And Solo has nothing going for him except his mean mug and doing whatever Roman says. I
Right.
feel like they need to expand more on Solo's personality and expand more on Solo's career
That's
if
why I
Roman is going
question.
to be off as well.
That's why I question have they developed him far enough to be compelling to be the one to battle Roman. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he has the depth. I don't think.
No, he doesn't have any depth.
No, he doesn't. In case you guys didn't catch, I was pretending to be Paul Heyman over here.
Yeah,
Pull
he
the
doesn't
plug.
have any depth. Solo is a goon,
He's
and we need to fix that.
he's an undefeated jobber.
Well, he's
Granted,
been
he has
defeated though. Didn't Cody beat him?
no.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes beat him.
Hey, I thought it was a DQ.
Was it?
I
'Cause,
don't think he needs a mid card title.
no,
Like
he
that
doesn't.
still wouldn't help with his personality. He doesn't
He-
have one.
Right.
He's
Like,
a background dancer.
You give let's say hypothetically we give in to those that believe that he's the one, right? What do you do with him?
right? He wins the undisputed titles from Roman. Then he just
Here's the
stands there
thing.
and looks
That's the
mean.
thing. That's the thing. He has
Whoa, no. Garmer's comparing him to a young Brock.
no. Brock was able to talk on the mic.
Dude,
24/7.
Solo has zero charisma.
No, dude.
He doesn't say or do
Exactly.
anything.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say is
During the
obviously
promos,
Solo can talk. Like he's only been given.
I hope so.
I mean,
He's
how many words did they give him in that promo on what was it, Friday night? You do your part and I'll do mine.
I don't fucking know.
Just bring
Yeah,
back
something like
Armando Alejandro Estrada. Y'all remember him?
Unfortunately,
Yes.
He was a good mouthpiece for Umaga.
look, all I'm saying is we need to give Solo some mic time. We need to give him some character development so
Yes.
people actually have something to get behind. I'm not getting behind Nameless Goon. I'm not getting behind. He's like a mini boss. If Roman is the final boss,
He's like
Solo is at
he's
least
like
a
World
mini boss.
World 1 boss.
Yeah, he's like World 1 tutorial boss. They teach you how to kick his ass. And
I hate that he's being compared to young Brock here. That's so
I do too.
wrong
That-
though.
Can we like
Brock
mute
is
Garber for,
unique.
a minute?
Unique. He is if you go back to 2002 and watch the first year of Brock Lesnar, the man went from April debuting to August winning the championship from The Rock at SummerSlam. Solo didn't do
Yeah.
that.
Solo doesn't feel like nearly as much of a threat.
And
Not
Garber
even
tried to
close.
say the strong and silent type. Brock was still he had more words than Solo has had his entire career just in 2002 alone. He debuted. Just in probably a month he said more words than Solo.
I mean, fair. Solo's stuck in a storyline, but I don't know. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
I just don't see, knowing WWE and their reputation of things, I don't see them building towards that. I think they have
I just
other
want-
plans.
Yeah, I just want, if this is going to continue, for us to meet Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
I would like to meet him.
Right.
Yeah,
I would
bring it
like
out.
to have a proper introduction to who he is as a person, well, as a character, because he's not, but I would like to actually see what he's about before we are trying to say that he's the one out of the bloodline that's going to take out Roman. Because right now, I ain't
That's
having it.
good. That's
Yeah.
a good thought there, Garmer.
Solo needs to assist Cody? No, that's the thing, too. You can't have the babyface get the assist. He needs to win clean.
Yeah. That's not finishing the story. That's getting help.
Yep.
That's doing the same thing that Roman did to beat him.
Yep.
It's an interesting thought, but I do agree with you guys. Like, it is interesting to see him turn on him, but
He's going to lose.
Anyway, so
All right.
where do we rank this?
We put it at
we put it at 4. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that leads us to our main event, clocking in at 9 minutes and 40 seconds, which honestly surprised me because a good chunk of the
main event.
Well, not that it was just short, is a good chunk of the match took place before the match because the match time doesn't officially start until the bell rings. And they actually had a little bit of altercation outside the ring before the match got started. Which was interesting to see. A little bit of aggression, almost desperation from Cody Rhodes. Almost heel-like.
He did say that, he's going to have to catch him off guard and everything like that. And the second I seen Lesnar walking around the ring, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is going to be the time that he
I'm glad you said heel-like grab. Because while he was attacking Brock before the bell, I was just thinking how much Brock would be getting if he did the exact same thing. So I feel like that moment really blurred the lines between whether Cody is being a face or heel or not.
But that's what I mean. It's a desperation. That's not a face. Desperate is not a face characteristic.
No. It's almost like, comparing, not really comparing it, but when the Joker kills Robin and Robin becomes the Red Hood, Batman goes and kills him. That's how this kind of feels with the opening because, Batman's, the hero.
You do know Batman's not a hero, though. He's technically a villain because he's a vigilante, which is illegal.
Yes. You know what I'm talking about, though.
I just want to throw that out there real quick before you make a Batman analogy. He is not a face by any means.
Oh, I'm not saying he's a face.
Yeah.
He strikes fear into people.
Sure, but that's a heel characteristic. Nobody's afraid of the baby face.
But what I'm saying, though, is he did something that's uncharacteristic to where, he doesn't kill. He went out and killed the Joker because, took away Robin, even though Robin became the Red Hood. Yada, yada.
I mean, what Garmer's saying makes sense that he was just paying Lesnar back for the attack that he did to him on Raw. I guess that would make sense.
More so, I mean, it's not
payback, sure, but again, heel characteristic.
As a receipt, no. I mean, receipts are ones that you keep for when they give a stiff punch or something like that. And Lesnar and Rhodes, I don't think that they had any issue in that area. It was all part of the story. So as far as receipts, no.
He says Backlash for Lesnar's attack.
Objectively, the match. Unpopular opinion, but I feel like I've seen that Brock Lesnar match before.
If you've seen a Brock Lesnar match in the last 5 years, you've seen a Brock Lesnar match because it always starts with him picking you up and putting you into that opposite corner and then setting you up for Suplex City, bitch. His matches are very typecast. That's why it's refreshing when he gets out of that mold.
Yeah, I feel like that match gave me shades of Seth Rollins. I think it was a SummerSlam they had that match where Seth kicked him in the nuts.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the match. Desperation. He tends to drag desperation out of baby faces.
But how do you beat a man that size without being desperate? You know what I mean? You can't impose on them.
Yeah, I guess that's the story with it all. But then the suplexes, even Michael Cole said it's reminiscent of the John Cena match in SummerSlam, where you hit 16 suplexes on him. I felt like the whole match was just one big callback to people who have dealt with Brock Lesnar before.
Yeah. Garmer says it's sad to see Brock will be gone in the next 5 years. Brock will be gone in the next 2 years. They're approaching WrestleMania
in the next 2 weeks.
They're approaching WrestleMania in Minnesota being talked about for 41. And I honestly think that's where he would retire. So next year's 40, 41. And we're talking like a year and a half, close to 2 years left in his contract, if that's what his contract looks like. But if a man were to retire, that's where you do it. 45, WrestleMania 41. Yeah, sure. He's getting up there in age. But if you notice a shift in his character work, he's putting people over now. He's already apexed. Yeah. Like Brock Lesnar, if you need an imposing force to do the job and be scary and make you believe you're going to get your ass kicked, Brock Lesnar's the guy. If you need to overcome something, Brock Lesnar's the guy. It made Cody look great, and it didn't hurt Brock at all with the way they finished this match. He was a bloody damn mess, and I was loving that.
I did too. I loved it every bit.
So
I'm curious though. At what point did the damn get undone? I didn't see that part.
Oh,
he hit the buckle, the exposed turnbuckle.
Yeah, but when
he undid it.
Oh, okay. I just couldn't remember seeing when it happened. When I seen that, he was a bloody mess and everything, I'm all like, finally they do something that,
It's not that Brock rarely bleeds, it's that they rarely allow blood in their matches.
Yes.
Brock has bled on numerous occasions. It was a legit cut. I think it may have been pre-cut. But it was a cut. Like, it was legit. If you watch it, the camera never leaves him from when he hits the exposed ring. And
I was looking for that part too.
Yeah, it stays with him the whole time. He goes his hand up, to react to the hit. There's no blade. Like, there was no time to blade safely.
No, because the camera stayed on him the whole time.
Camera stayed on the whole time. So,
yeah.
I think it was pre-cut.
But as far as where the ranks...
Where does this rank?
I don't know.
Yeah, make it a little bigger.
I mean, if we talk about the finish, it was good. The submission hold, the Kimura being locked in, and he rolled him to his shoulders. That was a nice surprise victory. Honestly, smart ring awareness. If we're talking storytelling in the match, it was a quick match, but again, because half of it took place before. Garmer says 3 or 4. I would have to say. I would rank this. I would rank this above the Bloodline match, but I don't know if I would give it more than Io and Bianca.
I would rank it at 4.
No?
I feel 4 is good.
So you would bump the Bloodline back to 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Io and Bianca, wasn't my favorite match of the night, but it was a little bit better than this. Like, we obviously knew the outcome. It was obviously predictable. The outcome, the way it happened, didn't see that happening. The Kimura into a pin. Because obviously, he could have just broke out of it, but he didn't. So, like I said, it goes 4.
So that's our final ranking then. Bad Bunny delivered the best match on the card.
More so, Damian Priest delivered the best match on the card.
Yes, thank you, Ty, for rephrasing that.
It literally says Bad Bunny
was definitely heavily assisted through the match.
He destroyed it.
Considering his finisher is very much so reliant on Damian Priest.
You don't say. Exactly. Wait a second. No, that's not how that move works. I thought anybody could do that move. Anyways, but yeah, Bad Bunny, Damian Priest, top match. Seth and Omos coming up second. These are not things that we would have said been the top matches. If you were predicting this card,
nope.
I would have.
Pre-card? No, I would not have predicted this the way we did it.
No.
Post-card, it's perfect.
I think we should do a pre and post show of these. Give our predictions beforehand, and then see how just terribly wrong we are with ranking it.
Hey, I am down for that.
So our next pay-per-view event is in just a few weeks away already. It's the Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. I believe that happens which pisses me off, over Memorial Day weekend. I don't know why they love to do holiday weekend pay-per-views or premium live events. I'm not in a place where I get good signal, so like I can never watch these damn shows. So I don't know why they do this, but whatever.
Armor expected us to put the Omos matches low.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would have predicted Omos to be lower on the ranking too.
I would have expected to be lower too.
But
I mean, I would have expected it to probably be right above the Theory match.
yeah, very low. Well, that was Backlash. Honestly, overall, better than expected show. The highlights are really just kind of watching it for the pops from the crowd, the high energy, really positive energy crowd. I would love to see that more. It's going to be interesting going from this crowd to Saudi Arabia. Obviously, it's a bigger venue, but bigger doesn't always mean better.
Which we probably won't see KO and Sammy there.
Well, if it's Night of Champions, kinda, don't you have to have the champions on the card?
I have to, but I mean, they have issues going there, so.
Well, I don't know
They'll
what to say on
probably come
that.
up with a reason why they can't be there.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe they'll do a contender or something for that title at Night of Champions. Call it the Night of Champions and Contenders.
Right. That's why I'm sitting there saying, like, I'm glad that Sammy and KO took the belts from the Usos, but at the same time, you have Night of Champions, you can't really,
I mean, Roman wasn't at Backlash, so it is what it is. But overall, again, I think y'all should watch it. If you have Peacock, not a plug, we're not sponsored, but that is currently in the United States one of the only ways to watch pay-per-views or premium live events. If you're elsewhere in the world, you could either watch it on Disney or WWE Network still. Among other avenues, there are other ways to watch events for free too, but we won't talk about that. But you can do it.
We don't condone that behavior.
We don't. That's naughty.
because it's a pirate's life for me.
Hey, that's trademarked.
We don't.
Look at Rated trying to
Thank
steal
you.
Cody's gimmick now. Jeez.
Technically, Cody stole my whole thing with, rated R.
What?
You're blocked.
You're fired. No.
You're done.
I mean, if you really think about it, I have always gotten
No.
a joke about my name.
No.
No, those are your
It's
kids'
fired.
initials and yours. Like
Originally, no, it wasn't that. But after, a while...
that was just a coincidence?
Yes, it was all a coincidence.
What? You don't just coincidentally use yours and your
I
children's
swear to
You
initials?
and I lie.
I swear on everything I love.
I'm just gonna
It
pick
was
some
all
random letters
coincidental.
then. Oh, would you look at that?
I created my gamer tag rated R back in 2008. This is 6 years before I had my daughter. And it was because I wanted my name to be
Right.
rated R with the R, the regular R, but I couldn't. So one of my friends said, "Well, why don't you just go AAR, like R?"
So what does this have to do with pirates?
I don't know. We got nothing. It's also the first letters of Aaron.
What pirate's favorite movie? Well, wait, not movie.
Oh,
I
he
don't
messed that
remember
up
what the joke
already.
was. Pirate. What movie do they rate the Pirates movie? It's rated R.
And on that note, I want to thank you for joining
done.
us tonight. Thank you, Rated. Thank you, Ty. This has been the Nerds of Wrestling podcast. If you want to listen to our old ones, we have a YouTube channel, and we're on Spotify, Google, and Apple, among other major podcast platforms. We'll be back with another one of these again here soon. And then tune in to DNA throughout the week so you can catch DC streaming his thing with some chunk. And then we got Con Air with some Star Wars. Star Wars. There's a little pirate injection there. Star. There's space pirates. See, I'm trying to keep it in theme. You're welcome, Rated.
Go to hell, please. Oh my god.
Yes.
Hey,
All right.
so were we gonna do the pre-card and the post-card one too?
I don't know. We'll get to that. We're closing now. Though.
Oh.
It's the end of the show.
We need to have that.
The
talk
card
later.
ain't out yet, rated.
We don't even know yet. We're not even there. We'll get there.
Yeah, I just like to think in the future, you know.
All right, Marty.
So you're a time traveling.
Calm down, Marty McFly.
As I give away my
Anyways.
secrets.
And of course, catch us Thursday night for a brand new episode of
man.
NAW, 8 p.m. Eastern. We got a huge card lined up for you there, including a championship match where Rated will lose this Thursday night. So tune in. And until then, we'll see you all
Lose, it won't
next
be to
time.
you.
This guy.
Good night, everybody.
He never shuts up. Good night. Peace. Yes! What the heck?
420 has earned a spin the wheel entry.